Hello, my name is Toni Laurich, and this is my final video project for the American Indian Studies course 374, Ojibwe Women. Today I will be teaching you how to properly cook wild rice, or as the Ojibwe call it, manomen. But before I get into the steps on how to properly cook it, I'm going to talk to you about the traditional way to harvest and prepare it. So basically all the steps that the Ojibwe people take before we can even begin to think about cooking our wild rice. First, the rice is collected from canoes. Poles are used to take stalks of the rice and lean them over the boat. They are then gently tapped so that the rice that is ready to be harvested falls off of the stalks and into the canoe. And here's what the tools look like that are used to harvest the wild rice. After it is harvested, the rice is immediately laid out to dry. This must be done right away before it begins to mold. After it is dried, it is roasted over a fire, which helps preserve the rice so that we are able to cook it at a later date. Roasting it also helps loosen the hull on the rice grain. Special moccasins are worn to hull the rice. This is sometimes called dancing the rice, and it helps remove the harder hulls on the grains, which makes it easy for us to eat. After the hulls are removed, the rice is tossed into the air so the breeze, and hopefully there is one that day, separates the hulls from the grain, since they are so much lighter than the grain itself. So, now that you know the traditional way of harvesting and preparing the wild rice, it's time to teach you how to properly cook it. And there are many different ways to do this, but the way I will be showing you today is simply the basic way to boil it. Although it may be slightly different than the way you're used to boiling normal white rice. When you are planning on making wild rice, you want to make sure the kind of rice you're getting is real wild rice that is processed in the traditional way. There's been a lot of controversy lately over what is real wild rice because some companies have been producing wild rice in factories and using all these machines and stuff and claiming that it's real Native American wild rice when actually it's not. So the White Earth Reservation has a great website where you can order a pound of their wild rice online for just $9, and they will mail it right to your door. And it's really good. So, and it's you just have to go to the website www.realwildrice.com. It's a great way to support the White Earth Reservation and the traditional way of harvesting the rice. And plus, it is not processed with any chemicals, and it is naturally organic. First, you're going to rinse the rice. It's good to rinse the rice because since it's harvested traditionally, you might get a stray grain of sand or dirt in there, and it can kind of crunch when you're eating it, and that can get annoying after a while. So you're going to want to rinse it before you start cooking it. You're then going to put the rice into a pot. If you're making 1 cup of rice, you're going to add 4 cups of water. Then you're going to bring the water to a boil, and you want to make sure that you keep the rice covered while you're boiling it. Then you're going to want to lower the temperature to medium heat. Since boiling times vary while making wild rice, it's probably a good idea to check it every once in a while. Then when it's finally done, you can add whatever you like to it and enjoy. Whenever I make wild rice, I usually just eat it with a little bit of butter and salt and pepper, but there's many ways you can enjoy it. Leftover wild rice is really good for things like cold or hot cereal, kind of like a substitution for oatmeal in the morning. And you can also smush the rice together into little pancakes and fry them in butter, and then eat that with maple syrup or brown sugar and butter. It's really good. So there's a lot of different things you can do with wild rice, and it's just good to know how to cook it. So this is the end of my video, and I hope you learned a lot. Thanks.